When I think of home, I remember those bright green aisles, full of life, as the hustle and bustle filled the town street of the local characters, that brought life to the place that I once called home. Those memories of slipping and sliding on the wet grass as I played those century-old games of this island brings back the culture upon me, of the sweat and the tears that went into those passionate games I love so much. That made me feel connected to my home, through the bonds built on those fields. Yes, I think to be connected to home is a gift that I will forever treasure. To be part of a culture that was so passionate and proud. I felt so lucky. But once I left that green-bladed battleground, I never did feel or hear those screams that would push me further in my life. Instead, I heard the doubts of family and friends advising me to settle myself down, to be like my teammates and strive to have a family, to build a home, to make something of myself, in their own eyes of an ideal life. Unfortunately for me, what I wanted to do with my life could not be achieved on these green isles, not to the extent that I wanted to go it anyways. I just always knew that there was someplace else I needed to go. People around home were supportive, but only when I had to benefit them, as it seemed to me in my constant state of self-doubt. I love to create, to make something that had value, to inspire people to understand the world through my craft felt like the purpose I had in this life. But to me that gift went often underappreciated at home, or I should really say misunderstood. People often would make passing remarks, never truly understanding what I was doing or who I really was. I never expected people to understand my work. But I always did dream that someday someone would value my work like I did. But I would not find that at home, which felt the worst of all. To know I had to leave felt like I was leaving all those memories I had made behind in search of something I never knew I could ever find. So when I went on that search for some place I could feel free from the judgmental eyes of aging shopkeepers, I felt a sense of worry begin to cloud my mind. Was I just leaving everything I had ever known to go someplace that I did not know would fill that void within my soul? I waited to leave till I had someone to travel with, thinking that would make the journey better in some way. But I waited and waited. I seen my friends fall in love and moving on with their lives, whilst I still waited to find my person to go see the world with. It hurt to compare myself to others, to compare my failed attempts of finding love to their new love stories. I was happy they managed to make it out of the dreaded talking stages that I could never get beyond. But still I yearned for someone that could look at me and want to stay. It's that timeless nature of Ireland that I love so much that hurts me. The timeless nature of this island that holds the stories of past loves and triumphs within its tall and scary mountain peaks. That raw emotion that I never felt like I could fully feel. To embrace that unconditional emotion of love and hardship felt strange to me, in my constant numbing feeling towards life. But still I dreamed that someday I would feel that level of emotion within myself. As I seen the tears stream down my parents' faces as I left to go find some place that could help me truly live my life, I felt that pain with each step I was taking, as all I wanted to do was turn around and hug them one last time. But those prolonged goodbyes made those first few steps all the more harder to take. But I had to leave, to truly live my own life. Once I left and I settled down in a new place, full of its own life and culture, I felt estranged, still connected to that green island I had always known. But as the breeze of new air washed over me, I felt a new lease of life flow within me. As I finally realised what I had just done, I created a clean slate in which I could start to leave my mark upon. I met new people who taught me the thrills that awaited me to experience. These people didn't care about the blood that ran through my veins or my past. They seen me for me, as we all explored the dense jungle of the city we now lived in. To miss home was not something I felt ashamed about, as people loved my stories, and that made me feel heard for the first time in my life. Like, what I was so passionate about was not something people questioned for the first time they heard it. Instead, they understood me and my craft. Now I could make new stories with my new memories, with these new people in my life. As we bonded over the feeling of missing those taxis to the next job interview, that made me feel normal, free of the judgment of nosy neighbours asking, "Has he a job yet?" No, these people wanted to see me strive in my own way. And they could laugh at me in the moments of embarrassment after sleeping in and missing that call from home after a late night spent in the pub around the corner of our apartment. But to be connected to the nature of this place felt so freeing. To walk on a beach at the break of dawn with the sunlight piercing through the clouds above me, as I started to understand this new way of life, with each taste of new and exciting food, I felt that new wave of energy all around me as I started to understand my life had just begun. To walk those crowded streets felt so strange. I think I sat about too long. I got used to the same dull routine, day in, day out. To walk past complete strangers who didn't care about me felt so freeing. To know I could make friends out of strange faces, to create a new life for myself to explore, felt like my life was on the right path. I started to feel myself become the person I always wanted to be. I felt free from comparison and judgment. I think that's a part of both leaving and learning that share qualities of one another. They both put the world into perspective for you. To know that there are unknown places and faces you may never get to see if you don't leave and learn from your past mistakes brought everything into light for me. I started to explore this new home with people who had a wild spirit that had me explore parts of myself I never knew before. I faced fears in my life, from jumping out of planes and soaring through skies with the birds. Then I started to fall in love with this life I created for myself. I never thought I'd be jumping off bridges or ziplining through dense forest trees. But all that felt natural to me now, as I didn't have that fear that I once used to ground me. It didn't feel scary to fly over the city lights at night, when I knew that back home I would never see those lights sparkle under the night sky from up above the city skyline. Yes, I finally started to feel like this new chapter in my life was now forever expanding, as each day now felt like an adventure, ready for me to explore. This new life felt like that search I was constantly on had come to an end. But then I had to turn home, to say my final goodbye to a now resting grandfather, who now finally lay at peace after a life fully lived. Those worn out hands now finally at rest, free from pain and hardship. That feeling of grief hurt. To know someone is gone forever, when all you want to do is have one last conversation, one last hug with them, one last time to thank them for everything they have ever done for you. But now that time has passed, along with them into a valley of peace. It hurts to feel grief, to know someone is gone forever, to think all of the special occasions they'll be missing from. But to sit with this pain, I was slowly killing myself. To feel this pain, I knew I had to use it to further push myself forward, to live a life that held meaning and purpose. So I had to go on that painful path that leads to true inner peace. I then found myself at the top of the once scary mountain peaks of my hometown. It was when I was that high, I seen that silver line appear above my head from the cloud that always lingered over me when I was at home. I seen the beauty of the place that I used to ignore before coming back to it all. I felt my once broken heart start to mend as I stood alone with my emotions. I felt them channel through my bones and weep into my very soul. At that moment I expressed my pain and feelings in a new way, not through my craft, but one felt within my very being. It was only mine to experience, not one tailored or retold to be impactful onto others to enjoy. It was a spark that burned bright within my soul, a source of energy that could fuel me wherever I may go. As I walked down through those green blades of grass, reminiscing about my younger days, it all brought back memories of a past self, insecure of where I was going in life. I now felt like that void within myself was fulfilled as I moved forward, ready to go become my own person once more and travel to new places that await to be explored. The goodbyes to loved ones never gets any easier, especially this time as I did not know when I'd be back next. However, I knew deep down these hugs and goodbyes would only help that internal flame burn brighter as I go along my travels. Now I leave once more, ready for a new adventure, to go and explore this world. I will forever carry these memories of Ireland with me, no matter where I may go. But for now it's my time to leave my mark once more on a place to call home.